Hello guys, welcome to Coding Cafe. My name is Mohammed Ali and in this tutorial we are going to work on the settings activity. Let's just complete this and then we will move to the contact list and find people. So first of all, as you remember in the previous tutorial we have designed this. We have also cast and initialized these fields here. So now when a user click here, then we have to send the user to his mobile phone gallery to select the picture, and then we will display that picture here, and then the user will type name and then the status, and after clicking save button we will store the information to the Firebase real-time database. So for that, what we're gonna do is that a user sorry is the save button. Here, let's just change this to write your bio. So a user will click on that save button. Okay, so it is here. So when a user first, as I told you, the user must select a picture, which is our this profile image view, and the ID for this is we have already casted anyways. So we can say that if a user click on the profile picture image view dot set on click listener, and then in here we are going to write the code to send the user to his mobile phone gallery. Intent gallery intent dot set action, and the action will be intent dot get, I think it is action get content, and we have to set the type, that is which type of file the user must select from his phone gallery. So it must be images. We are redirecting the user to the images. So inside his phone gallery slash static. So yeah, type will be image, and then we have to start the activity. So we can say start activity. Okay, start activity for result. Let's send the gallery intent, and the other thing it needs is the value. So we can say private static int gallery pick equals to 1, and then here we can say gallery pick. Now what this code will do, it will basically send the user to his phone gallery. The user will select an image, and now we have to get that image. We have to get the result of that. So in order to get that, we have a built-in function which is by the name on activity result. And here we can say if request code, which is this one, request code become equals to gallery pick, and the result code, this one. Okay, if the result code is equals to result okay, if everything is okay, and the data must not be null, so we can say data, which is this intent. Okay, it must get some data from the gallery. The user must select some picture. Only in that case we will execute the code, which we will write inside. We will display that image inside here. So inside this if statement we can say, let's first create a variable of type URI. So we can say private URI, let's give it name as image URI, and then we can say image URI. By using the data object we can set data dot get data. So it's get the image, store it inside this image URI, and now we have to display it on that image view. So for that we can say profile image view dot set image URI, and pass this image URI variable to it. So we get the image from the user, the user selected from the mobile phone gallery, and then we display it on our profile image view. Now the next step is that the user will write the name and the status, the bio, and then he will click on the save button. Then we will store all of these three information. But before moving to that, one thing is that the profile image, we have let give this opportunity to the user. If a user do not want to set the profile picture, then yes, he can or she can. So for that, we have to add a check for that. But before that, let's just click a save listener. Click listener on our save button, and then in here we can say save user data. Now this is the function that we will now create. Okay, let's just create this on our settings activity. Here you can see it. Let's just move it to the bottom. Inside this we can say final string. Let's give it name as get username equals to, we have to get the text from our username edit text, so you can say get text dot to string. The same we will do for the bio, so let me just do that. Get bio, and instead of bio, let's just give it name as user status. Okay, so here we can say if image URI become equals to null, then if the user has not selected any profile image, then in that case what we want to do, as I told you, let's give this opportunity, or you can say this the user has their own choice to set the profile picture or not. Only these two information are mandatory, that is the username and the bio. So the profile image is not mandatory. Okay, so for that, what we're going to do inside here, we are going to write a code that will store only the username and user status. So but before doing that, let's complete this thing. We can say else if the get username dot equals to null, then in that case we will display a toast message that is username is mandatory, please write, or whatever you want to write. Okay, and then the next thing which you need to do is to also do it for the status. So we can say get user status dot equals to null. If this is null, we can say bio or user status is mandatory, and then the next thing is else to store all the information. I will explain also again once we complete this. Okay, don't worry about it. So the next thing is to store the image. Let me just tell you once more time. If the image URI is null, okay, then let's say we are going to display a toast message for now, just for the understanding purposes. But as I told you, here we will call a method where we will just store the username and user status, okay, not the image. But if this if this condition, that is, let's say the user select an image, then the user write the username, and then the user write also the status, then else statement will execute, and inside this else statement we are going to save the image plus the username plus the user status, or you can say the bio. Okay, so for that, first of all, we have to put our image file inside the Firebase storage. So for that, we can say final storage reference, let's give it name as file path equals to, and let's just come here at the top, and here we can say private storage reference, Let's create a reference, I mean a folder inside the storage by the name profile picture. So we can say that, I mean the name will be user profile image reference. Okay, and let's just initialize it inside our this on create. So we can say user profile image reference equals to is the storage reference. Okay, for storing file image files. Anyways, Firebase storage dot get instance dot get reference dot child, and we are going to make a folder by the name profile images. Then we can say here that inside our profile images folder dot child, we are going to save the user image by the user ID. I mean the name of that image will be the user ID. So for that we can say firebase auth dot get instance dot get current user dot get uid. Let me just show you. Let's move this to the next line so that we can see it easily. Okay, firebase auth dot get instance get current user get uid. Now put a semicolon here. Then we can say final upload task equals to file path dot put file and pass the image URI to it. Now we have to get the output of this task. I mean, once the image is added to the Firebase storage, then we have to get the result, that is it is stored inside the Firebase storage, and then we will store that image to the real-time database. So we can say upload task by using this upload task object dot continue with the task new continue with the new continuation. Okay, this first one, and here we need to do some changes. Okay, so upload task dot snapshot comma task, and here remove this. We have to pass our, I mean URI object here, URI, and then task. Here also change this to URI. Okay, and then make sure to put a semicolon here at the end. And now inside we have to check if by using this task, you can say if the task is successful, then what we're gonna do, we have to get the download URL of that image that we just put it inside the Firebase storage. So it will throw, I mean if the task is successful, or instead of it we can say if the task is not successful, then we will throw the exception, and outside this if we will write the success statement. Okay, so we can say task dot get exception, otherwise we will return the download URL outside this if statement. So for that, what we're going to do, we are going to create a string type variable here at the top, private string download URL, and then here we can say download URL equals to file path dot get download URL dot to string. Put a semicolon here, and then we can return the file path dot get download URL. Now this URL is basically the image URL. Okay, the image that a user will select, we store it inside the Firebase storage, and then we get the URL of that image from the storage, because we will, by using this URL, I mean we have to store this URL inside now the real-time database. So here we can say dot add on complete listener, new on complete listener, and then in here we can say if the task is successful, then download URL equals to task dot get result dot to string. Now let's create a hash map of string object combination string comma object, and let's give it name as profile map equals to new hash map profile map dot put UID. Let's store the user ID. So Firebase auth get instance get current user dot get UID, then profile map dot put. Second will be the name. The name is stored inside the get username variable. Let's just copy paste it quickly. The second one is the bio. So let's store it by the name status. Get user status, and the third one is, the fourth one is the image, and it is stored inside the download URL. Now once it is done, we have to create a reference to the real-time database. So let's just come here, and now here we can say private database reference. Let's create a reference by the name user ref, and then okay, first let's initialize it here inside our own create. So you can say user ref equals to Firebase database get instance dot get reference dot child, and the child name is users. The user node inside the database. We will see it. When we test the application, you will see everything. I will show everything. Okay. So, anyways, we can say user ref dot child. We are storing the information for using the user ID. So, Firebase or get instance dot get current user dot get UID dot update children and pass the profile map to it. Then let's add on complete listener on it, new on complete listener on it. Make sure to put a semicolon here, and then in here we can say if task is successful dot successful, we are going to send the user to the contacts activity, or you can say, I think, yeah, the name of that activity we have to check. Yes, on the home page, okay, which is basically our contacts activity. So let's start quickly. And let's create an intent for it, and it will be our intent equals to new intent. We are on the settings activity, and we are going to send the user to the contacts activity dot class. Let's start the activity for the intent and finish everything left behind. And if you want, let's just display a message to the user that is your profile information has been updated. Profile settings has been updated. Congratulations. And if any error occur, then you can just write the else statement here and say that hey, error occurred, please try again, or whatever the message you want. So you can just type here the else statement, but I will not go for that. Let's just complete the main things. Okay, these are the main code basically. So anyways, that is all. Now as I told you, what if the user do not select a profile image? Okay, if the image URI is null and he just want to save the username and user status, the bio. So in that case, here we have to check something. Okay, so we have to check in here user ref dot add. We are basically now retrieving some information on the basis of which we can discover that the profile image is set already or not. So user ref dot add value event listener, new value event listener. Make sure to put a semicolon here, and then inside here by using this data snapshot we can say if data snapshot dot child and the child is our inside the user node. We have the user ID, so we can say Firebase auth get instance get current user get UID. If this exists, and okay, no, I mean it will automatically, I mean it will exist, but I mean where this child lands here. Okay, here we have to check the image inside the database, that is the user ID, and inside that information if the user image exists. So for that we have to write has child image. If the child exists by the name, I mean the name of which is image, which we are sending from here. Here you can see it. So if this thing not, I mean if this exists, then what we gonna do? If the image already exists, I mean let's say the user has set any image already, let's say the old image, and then the other time he just want to change only the name and bio, then for that case it will also work. I mean the code will also work for that. Let me tell you one more time. Let's say I'm now a new user. I just want to create a new account. Okay, so I log in by my phone number. I go to the settings activity. I set the profile image, the name, bio, and I click save. So my image, my name, my bio is saved already in the database. Now let's say another time the other day I just go to the settings activity. Now my image is already set. Okay, I do not want to set my image again. I just want to change my name and bio. So I will change my name and bio and I will click save. So it must not replace my image. I mean it must, uh, I mean we have to write some condition for this old image. So this is basically the if condition that is doing that thing. Okay, sorry, here. Okay, I mean this one. We are checking if the image exists for that user already, then only store the name and bio, and also it will work. So now, I mean, we are not, basically the profile image is also mandatory now. For that, what we're going to do, we have to write the else statement. That is, let's say if the user has not set the image, we are now, I mean, restrict the user. As I told you in the start that it will not be mandatory, but I think it will not be a good idea because this is a video calling application and we have to restrict the user to set his profile image. So only in that case the receiver of the call will see the profile image of the sender also. So yeah, I mean let's just do it. If here by any mean the user do not select any image, we can say hey please select image first. I will also, I mean at the end when we will run the application, I will also show you from, I mean at the end of this video how it works basically. Now here we have to call a method which will store only the info. So we can just say save info only, which means the user status and user name without image. Let's info only without image. Let's give it proper name so that you can understand it more easily. Create method, settings activity. Now here what we're gonna do is we have to copy this thing, copy this code, okay, where we get the username, user status, paste that here. And the next thing is the this information, which is the hash map and this thing. Just copy it and we will change it here. So by the way, we have to write the if else condition for it. So copy this else if and this else statement. Make sure to close this else statement. Okay, so and remove this else also from here, only if. So if get username dot equals to null, we are displaying username is mandatory, then the bio, and then inside the else statement we will write this code. So cut it from here and paste it here. Okay, let's just give it some proper shape. Okay, now move this hash map. Sorry for this, we have to move it inside the else statement. So yeah, that's it. And also make sure to remove this image because we are storing the name, status, and the rest of the thing is okay. So yeah, that's it. Now if you want you can add the progress dialog. Okay, let's add that quickly. I mean that is necessary to add a dialog progress dialog. Then in here we can say progress dialog equals to new progress dialog this, and then here we can say when the come down here when we say else, here we can say loading bar, sorry, progress dialog dot set title what will account settings, and then we have to set the progress dialog dot set message. The message will be please wait while we are updating the account settings or whatever you want to write here. And then we can say progress dialog dot show. Let's just copy this from here, come down to the bottom and paste that here also. And in case if it is successful or any error occur, then you must dismiss the progress dialog dot dismiss. Also here we can say progress dialog dot dismiss. So everything is okay now. So now is the time to test the application. So I'm going to connect my phone. Let's just run it. But before running the application, one thing which we need to do quickly is to, let's say if a user already set the profile picture and the name and bio, etc., then we must retrieve and display it here. Okay, I mean the old data. So for that, what we're going to do is let's create a function quickly by the name private void retrieve user info. Let's just quickly by using our user reference dot child firebase auth get instance get current user dot get uid dot add value event listener new value event listener. So make sure to put a semicolon here first, and then here we can say if data snapshot dot exist, then we are going to retrieve the image. Now let's just change the name of it to image from db. And then we can say that a snapshot dot child, and the name of image is we are storing it by the name image. Okay, so you must use the same names, and then get value dot to string, and the same we will do for the username and status. Make sure to change this to name and then this one to bio. So the name we are storing by the name, let me check it, it is name and status. So you can say name status. Okay, and now we have to set it username et dot set text and pass the name db to it. Then user, what is the name of it, user bio et dot set text and pass the bio db to it. Now we have to set the image, so for that we have the, okay, first of all we have to add the Picasso dependency. So come here to the build.gradle module app and add this dependency implementation. Let's just quickly copy paste it in this single quotation, and then com.square square up dot picasso Picasso colon Picasso colon 2.71828. So now just click on this sync now. So it is synced successfully. Now let's come back to the settings activity quickly, and now we can say Picasso dot get dot load. Inside load we have to pass our image db, I mean the url, and then dot placeholder in case if the image is not available. So we want to, I mean if the image is, let's say your internet speed is low, then we will display a default image which is the profile image, and that dot into which is our profile image view, we are going to display it on it. So I mean it is work, I mean this is it. And now we have to call this in our onCreate. So call this method here inside the onCreate, which is by the name retrieve user info. Let's just run the application. So the app is running now successfully. Now let's just go to the settings, and now let's just click on this profile image. Here you can see it send us to the mobile phone gallery. From here let's just select any picture. Okay, here you can see it. Now you will just write your name. Let's say, I mean in my case I'm going to write my name Mohammed Ali, and then bio, hey, I like Elon Musk. I mean any status you want, you can just write it here, and then after it you can just click on this save button. Here you can see account settings, please wait, and profile settings has been updated. Now if you go back to the settings page, you will see the information that has already stored in the Firebase real-time database and Firebase storage. And let's say, I mean in your case, if some error occur, by the way, we have something here which we need to change. Okay, let's come here to the code, and then I will tell you what I was talking about. Anyways, just come here, retrieve the info by name, username, bio, image name, status. What is the problem here is we need to, okay, first of all let me tell you, before testing the application, make sure that you go here to the I mean your Firebase project, then come here to the database, and you have to choose the real-time database. I hope you know about this. Okay, I mean the one is the cloud file store and the other one is the real-time database. So you have to choose the real-time database. Okay, and here you can see our information has been stored here, which is the users.child the Firebase user ID. You can also compare it with the authentication. I mean the online user is basically the online user. Okay, if I show you, then here you can see it at fjd, okay, and this is the image, this is the name, this is the status, this is the uid. And while storing these name and status, I think we forgot to change the name here. For the uid, get username, get user status, and then okay, this is the save user info, name, status, where we commit a mistake. I mean while getting the, yeah, here you can see it, I mean username get text and username get text. So I'm sorry, I mean this is just by mistake. Okay, so make sure to change this to user bio edit text, and also here make sure to change this to user bio edit text. So yeah, I mean that's it. You can now I mean again run the application and you can test it. Now the information will save correctly to the database for the status. So yeah, that's it for this video.